What's up guys, Shane here from Fugatech LEGO, and today we're taking a look at set number 7656. This is the LEGO T-Rex Breakout, or I should say the Jurassic Park T-Rex Breakout. A set that I have wanted for a while. I've waited for it to come on back order to get to me. It's here now, so let's talk about it. Alright, so today's plan is to go over the box, we're going to then build it, and I'm going to give you guys a review of this set. This has been, again, extremely hard to get a hold of. I bought this when it came out because I missed out on a few other sets that I wanted and then couldn't get them because they sold out. And then, but again, when I ordered it, it immediately went on to back order because I ordered the day it came out, and I think it took like almost 2 months to finally ship to me. But I have it now. It did come in pretty rough shape, so thankfully I'm not keeping this for any type of investment or anything like that. I am going to be building it, but the box is kind of banged up. So as you can see right here, the main draw to this set, honestly, is the two Jeep cars, one being complete and one being toppled over and being tramped on by the T-Rex. But this complete Jurassic Park car is just absolutely awesome. This comes with 4 minifigs, as you can see there, and then on the back, they can give you kind of a little bit of the blueprint of it. They give you a scene from the actual movie. Let's do that. A picture from the actual movie, and there's another angle of it. And here's another angle of the actual set coming from the right. Now this is part of the 18 plus set, so it's gonna be a lot more difficult. It's gonna be using more Technic parts, and it's gonna be using some very interesting build features that I discovered when I built the Ecto 1, which was a very long build that took a long time to do. It was very complicated, definitely an 18 plus set. But this one, I think is gonna be a little bit easier, but I'm super excited to build it. So let's get into it, and I'll tell you guys all about it afterwards. Try to get down a little low so you can see all this. So here it is. It was a interesting build. You know, before we talk about it though, let's talk a little bit about kind of the process. So the 18 plus book did not disappoint. It is huge, and there are a ton of cool facts and things in here. So I'll kind of flip through those and look, but yeah, it just gives you some fun facts about the movie, and then how parts of this was inspired directly from the movie and how they were to make it kind of like work to be made out of Lego, because it was a movie, and making it into Lego is definitely a challenge for certain things. So we have the minifigures. We have Dr. Grant, Lex, Tim, and Dr. Malcolm. That's his name. So Jeff Goldblum, awesome guy. So yeah, it comes with the 4 minifigures. 2 of them come with the flares because they kind of throw the flares to try and drive off or to distract the T-Rex from beating down on this car, which is where the kids go. So the kids actually go kind of behind the car. There are some spots laid out on here in a dark reddish brown. So it kind of indicates where you should put the minifigures for this, kind of like for when it's in its diorama state. And Dr. Malcolm actually goes inside inside this Jeep here. So again, the Jeeps are pretty cool. Honestly, they're awesome. My only real complaint about them is there's absolutely zero printed pieces in this set. They are all sticker elements. So it would be nice to have actual printed pieces rather than stickers for everything, but that's okay. I think the set did a pretty good job of where to put them and to actually make the Jeeps look as realistic as it can, with, you know, one full build, one half build, both built, I'll say, in 80% different ways. There was not a whole lot that's the same about them, from the bumpers to the actual construction of the main chassis to the way the wheels are attached. I think the fronts are fairly similar, but there's definitely some different build techniques that they used in this, which is cool to see. I thought building the T-Rex was incredibly fun. He is super heavy. I would say a third of this set is just in him. He is completely brick built all the way through and through. His entire body here is about 6 bricks tall. Totally solid guy. I will say they make a bit of a boo-boo, and I could not figure what was wrong. I actually installed his legs reversed. So I had the knees, instead of going out the front, I had them going out the back, and I could not get this sucker to stand up. I was like, why isn't this working? It's because I'm an idiot, and I had built his legs. I just put them on backwards. So once I switched them around, he stands great now. He's able to hold his own weight, but having them switch the other way, he doesn't hold weight at all. He does have this pose, kind of, if you have this in the diorama state, where he has one leg up on this Jeep that's overturned and crushed in half, and then you have the other one down here, and this Jeep actually fits perfectly into this spot. It fits just right in there, which it doesn't look like it before you install it, but yeah, it fits in there really nicely. And so I'll do is I'll get you guys some close-ups of the actual base of this. I thought when building this, I thought it was kind of a waste with how many plates and things you were using, but when you realize that the base is only really 3 plates thick, so they only have 3, or actually 4 plates, some of this goes a little bit taller, but they only have 4 plates to make the depth and make everything look as detailed as possible with such a thin base. You can do a ton if you had, 2-3 bricks of space, but if you're only doing with technically a brick and a third, that's 4 plates, there's only so much detail that you can get in such a diorama. It is also much wider than I thought it was. I don't really know what my expectations were, but either way, it is about a third wider than I thought it was going to be. I'm not complaining, it's just different, just wasn't what I was expecting. I kept building on longer and longer when you're building the actual base of this, and I was like, wow, it goes on forever. But yeah, so use a lot of cool pieces, a lot of very interesting build techniques. Again, building him with the 3 tones, and then it's got a little bit of pink in there for the tongue, and then it's got the teeth. The jaw does open and close, which is really cool. The way that they have the fence, where he's kind of broken through the fence there, also very cool to see that. Yeah, again, there was just lots of cool build techniques, and I'm always amazed at how things are built, like how the actual professionals, when they design these, how the LEGO designers work on them. There was a few parts in here that were new to me. The way these wheel wells are, they're kind of like blocky with the wheel well on the outside. That was a new piece I'd never seen before. I've never seen these tires before. They probably come on more like the Speed Champion sports cars, but I don't really have any of those because I don't use them. So that was a very interesting piece. I've not seen that used before. The way these firecrackers are, very cool. Not seen that before either. Oh, and the hubcaps. Yeah, the hubcaps. The way they are printed to be kind of like the way a Ford Escape is. Or I'm sorry, these Explorers? Yeah, Ford Explorer. So the way the Ford Explorers are, which is funny because, I mean, in the 90s we had a Ford Explorer, and it always made me, I always thought that I had the Jurassic Park Jeep. It was a dark green, but hey, it was still pretty cool to have and be able to see this. Overall, again, very cool set. Being on the 18 Plus, I didn't think it was as difficult as the Ecto 1 was. Definitely a little more challenging. Definitely think my kids would have had a little more of a challenge with this one. But I definitely think it's absolutely buildable by a young teen, 11, 12-year-old. I definitely think someone could be able to build this fairly easily. The one thing that was interesting is that the way that the whole set and all of these different pieces are color-coded, where there's a red and a blue brick, a red at the front of the Jeep and a blue in the back of the Jeep. And then when you're actually building the base plate, there's a red on this side, a blue on this side. And the same thing with this other Jeep, a red side to blue side. So it was just interesting to see how they color-coded it, which gave you some indications on how things are built. But in the classic 18 Plus fashion, some of these steps have 8 and 10 pieces that get plumped down all in one step, where a traditional Lego set is 1 or 2 pieces of multiples at a time, but this was like 5 different elements down at one time in one step in one picture, which is interesting because it is still such a thick book. But I think they did a great job of kind of having all that. Didn't really have too many questions, but again, sometimes you kind of get to a part, you're like, I don't know sure where this goes, but that's all part of it being the 18 Plus sets. It is supposed to be a little bit harder to build, but it is very enjoyable. So I think I've talked enough. As you can see right here, I've got my pile of different parts and things here. These are all the spares that it comes with. Of course, it comes with a Lego separator, and it has 1 extra of the cables. There's a lot of cool little things in here. There's the glasses of water, there's the flashlight, the NVG goggles are in there. There's just so many cool details in here. It's a very, very cool set. I enjoyed it. So if you guys have this build, let me know what you think about it. Did you like it? Did you not? Did you think it was a difficult build? I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Let me know how it worked out for you. This will definitely be a very cool piece to show my kids, and I'm very glad that I was able to get it. So thank you guys for joining me for the LEGO Jurassic Park T-Rex Breakout set review and kind of talking about it. So I enjoyed it. Hope you guys did too. I'll see y'all next time. Happy building.